How you doing, Tucker?
I'm doing great. So I just want to stipulate that I think all of this behavior is allowed under the First Amendment. So I don't think there's any debate over whether it's protected as speech. Of course it is. The debate is over how grotesque it is. And I don't understand why Marshawn Lynch is under the impression that Mexico is a more virtuous country than his own. Where would he get that idea?
Well, I think that you need to go and ask yourself, why would a rich athlete feel as if another country is better than him? And it goes back to what LeBron James said. LeBron James said being black in America is hard. It doesn't matter how much money you have, right, who you are, how much fame you have. So I think Marshawn Lynch is evidence of that. So you also have to ask yourself, what would drive someone, a multi-million-dollar athlete, to stand during the Mexican national anthem and not want to stand on his own? This isn't something that he just comes up with. Where does that come from?
It's just,
and I'm going to say that it comes from a lot of statistics. Go ahead.
Yeah, but what it doesn't come from is a deep knowledge of Mexico. I mean, if you're doing that to the Swiss anthem, okay, we could debate it. Or the French anthem, we could debate it. But have you seen the people who run Mexico? Is there a country in the world with a firmer color bar than Mexico? I don't think there is. Is there a country with a more grotesque history of slavery than Mexico? How do Afro-Mexicans do? Do you have any idea? Does Marshawn Lynch have any idea? I mean, let's be real here. You'd rather be black in America than Mexico any day of the week.
Well, I think Marshawn Lynch and a lot of black people might differ with you. They might say it's worse being in America than being in Mexico.
Oh,
you know,
really?
A lot
and
of
why
these
would they
athletes
say?
that
Why
travel,
would they
yeah,
say that?
A lot of these athletes that travel around the world, they get treated a lot better in their perspective than they do here in America. That's why they say that. That's their experience.
I don't think Marshawn
We're not
Lynch,
talking about Afro.
Yeah,
we're not talking
I think
about
we're talking about. Let's just be real, okay? Barack Obama could not have been elected president of Mexico. They have major race problems in Mexico, and we pretend that Mexico is this sort of unified Hispanic country. That's not reality, and anyone who says it knows nothing about Mexico. I'm not attacking Mexico. That's just true. So I guess I wonder, like, does he know anything about Mexico? And by the way, how badly is Marshawn Lynch treated when he goes to dinner? Or do people yell at him at dinner? I mean, can we just be real for a second? This is ridiculous.
Yeah, well, we're keeping it as real as possible. You just need to realize that Marshawn Lynch grew up in Oakland. He's probably seen a lot of police brutality. He's seen a lot of his friends get shot and probably injured by police brutality. And he's also, everywhere he goes, no one's concerned about his wealth. All police see is dreadlocks a lot of times. So in Marshawn Lynch's mind, the way he's treated here, as opposed to when he goes to Mexico or Europe, is a lot better. You got to remember, there's a history of African Americans leaving America. And don't get me wrong, I love this country. There's a history of African American celebrities and athletes going all the way back to Josephine Baker in 1919, leaving this country for a better life.
She went to Paris.
Going to France. No, she went to France. She went to France.
I'm very aware of that. She did not go to Mexico. Look, okay, here's the real point, that when you're a famous person who commands the attention of an entire country and has reaped such profound rewards for that country as Marshawn Lynch has, doesn't mean that you have to love the country, but it means you can't be as mindless as he is. You can't say something that's so stupid like, I would be treated better in Mexico. That's insane. Don't you think it's incumbent on him to maybe learn something before weighing in on a topic this divisive? Or no?
Absolutely, absolutely. But I don't know his history of study in Mexico. I don't know, but I would concede that point. Absolutely. Yeah. I would assume that he's probably hasn't read all of Mexican history, just like he hasn't read all of American history.
So you don't need to read all of. Look at the people who run the country.
I can also assume that he's smart enough to base his opinion on how he's treated when he's down there, on how people talk to him, how he's received when he goes to hotels.
Because it's not all about him, actually, and I know this is news to a lot of rich athletes. It's not all about you. There's a broader world beyond your experience and your reality. And look, the point is that gestures like this influence a lot of other people, and maybe they should be thoughtful and not reactionary and stupid like this.
Well, I think he has a right, as you said, the First Amendment right to do what he wants to do. So I'm glad you attached with that issue. But he also has to be more concerned about the broader scope of the way African Americans have been treated in this country, so we can make it a better country.
Good luck in Mexico.
Nothing wrong with making this a better country.
Yeah, well, he's not doing it. But anyway, thank you very much. I appreciate it.